Days turned into weeks as Roland lay in the hospital bed, fighting for recovery. The doctors were cautiously optimistic. Despite the severity of his injuries, Roland showed signs of improvement. Each day, Destiny sat by his bedside, holding his hand tightly, praying for his strength to return. Eric joined her often, his guilt gnawing at him like a relentless storm. He couldn't help but blame himself for everything that had happened: Roland's suffering, Destiny's pain, and the strain on their relationship. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow over the city, Eric approached Destiny. Her face was pale, exhaustion etched into every line. "How is he?" Eric asked softly, taking a seat beside her. Destiny glanced up, her eyes red from crying. "He's getting better," she replied, forcing a small smile. "The doctors say he might walk again if he keeps improving." Eric nodded, relief washing over him briefly before guilt resurfaced. "I'm so sorry for all of this," he whispered, reaching out to take her hand. "If it weren't for me." "No," Destiny interrupted firmly, squeezing his hand. "This wasn't your fault. It was your father's greed and cruelty. You didn't ask for any of this." Her words brought tears to Eric's eyes. She still believed in him, even after everything. That thought both humbled and terrified him. Could he truly deserve someone as kind and understanding as Destiny? As the days passed, Eric threw himself into helping Roland recover. He hired the best physical therapists, paid for cutting-edge treatments, and ensured Roland received everything he needed to regain his health. Slowly but surely, Roland began to heal, his spirit unbroken despite the ordeal. Meanwhile, back at the mansion, Eric's mother worked tirelessly to mend the fractured relationships within the family. She knew her husband's actions had gone too far, and the time had come for him to confront his mistakes. One afternoon, she sat her husband down in the study, her voice firm yet gentle. "You need to fix this," she told him, her eyes filled with urgency. "You've hurt not just Eric, but an entire family who did nothing but show kindness. If you don't make amends now, you'll lose more than just the election, you'll lose our son forever." Her words struck a chord deep within Eric's father. For years, he had prioritized power and control, ignoring the emotional toll his decisions took on those around him. Now, staring at his wife's determined face, he realized how much damage his ambition had caused. Perhaps it wasn't too late to change, to be the man his family deserved. The next morning, Eric's father arrived at the hospital, carrying the weight of regret on his shoulders. As he entered Roland's room, the air felt heavy with tension. Destiny sat by her father's bedside, while Eric stood near the window, his back turned. Roland, though still weak, managed a small smile when he saw Eric's father. "I'm sorry, Roland," Eric's father began, his voice low and sincere. "I've made terrible mistakes. I let my ambition blind me, and I hurt you and your family. I'm not proud of what I've done, but I want to make things right." Roland hesitated, then spoke quietly. "Life is short. There's no room for grudges. What matters now is making sure my daughter is happy, and that your son is happy, too." Eric's father, moved by Roland's humility and forgiveness, promised himself that he would do whatever it took to help this family from now on. He arranged for additional care for Roland, ensuring his recovery progressed smoothly. He also reached out to Destiny, offering her support in whatever way she needed. Though mistrust lingered, Eric's father's genuine efforts began to soften some of the resentment. Back in the village, changes were unfolding as well. Sophia, once proud and boastful, found herself humbled by circumstances beyond her control. Tricked by Judah's scheme, she ended up pregnant and trapped in a miserable marriage to a poor mechanic. Living in a rundown shack, surrounded by grease and noise instead of luxury, Sophia cried for days, realizing the error of her ways. Her greed and jealousy had cost her dearly, leaving her isolated and broken. When Destiny encountered Sophia during a routine checkup, she recognized the woman sitting by the roadside, eating bread and looking utterly defeated. Despite their past conflicts, Destiny felt pity for her former friend. Before leaving, she handed Sophia a generous check, encouraging her to start anew. Sophia, overwhelmed with gratitude, thanked Destiny repeatedly, vowing to turn her life around. With Roland recovering and peace slowly returning to their lives, Eric and Destiny focused on building a future together. They discussed plans for their wedding, envisioning a simple ceremony filled with love and joy. Eric's mother embraced Destiny fully, seeing the profound impact she had on her son's happiness. Together, they prepared for the next chapter of their lives, hopeful and united in their commitment to one another. Though shadows of the past remained, Eric knew he had found something precious, a love worth protecting, a family worth cherishing. And as he held Destiny's hand under the warm sunlight, he vowed never to take her kindness or devotion for granted again.